Now I'm wondering. Now that I got my head stuck there, do I need to have an avatar down below? Because I think
No, it's
that
too much.
would be kind of gay, wouldn't it?
Yeah.
Okay, so we are back. I didn't realize that the music had finished. I went ahead and stopped that. I can't believe it started just as soon as I said that. It was ridiculous. So we started kind of talking about this whole thing about the British or Americans and which are better when singing American songs. Now, which you got to kind of elaborate on that when you made that post, Mark. Like, which songs are you referring to when it comes to?
I was just referring to that joke video, YouTube video. What was it? Lindenberg,
Mhm.
a Brit comedian, stroke reenactment, stroke actor, stroke whatever. Just doing a
Funny video.
comical stunt, yes, a stunt on an Elvis song, wasn't it?
Elvis. Oh God, anybody could do freaking Elvis songs better than Elvis.
Yeah.
That's not really a good. That's not a good. We're gonna have to step it up on that. That's horrible. I can't believe that's what.
Actually, it's technically not an Elvis song. It wasn't. It was nothing but Hand Dog, which
A hound dog.
Elvis, yeah, which Elvis didn't actually write himself, didn't he?
Let me go ahead and see if I can get "Ain't Nothing But a Hound Dog" by freaking this guy, and we can go from there. What do you think?
You can. Yeah, I don't see any major issues with that.
We can do it, but the thing of it is we have to be discussing it while we're doing it. So
Yeah,
we can. So here
it's a very short clip anyway, so
here we go with the clip. I'm wanting to share it on the actual stream, so I'm gonna drop this down, and I will go ahead and I'll do it, man. I'll freaking put it on there. That way everybody can see it. Can you see it now?
no,
Okay, let me.
it's still showing us. So
It's okay. Let me make sure because this was something I thought would be interesting to show.
yeah, originally sung by somebody called Big Mama Fulton back in 1952.
Big Mama Fosun.
Fulton,
Okay.
Fulton, as in chocolate.
Okay. So
Sweet chocolate, sweet chocolate, sweet chocolate.
okay. So I think I've got it set up. Let me.
Yeah.
Okay. So let me go ahead and hit play, and it should be good to go. Now let me make sure the audio actually is. Yeah, the audio is good. We can hear the audio, so let's do this. Let's,
Hound dog. Why would you call it hound dog? A hound is a dog.
Gonna have to increase the sound volume.
Would you? You ate nothing but a. A lot of unnecessary negatives there. Never mind, I think I can probably clean it up on the fly. At least the chords look fairly simple. You are nothing but a hound, baying all the time. You are nothing but a hound, baying all the time. You have never caught a rabbit, and you are no friend of mine. They said that you were, upper class. Well, that was just a lie. They said that you were upper class. Well, that was just a lie. You have never caught a rabbit, and you are no friend of mine. Yeah, fixed it.
Now he messed it up, man.
How so?
It's supposed to, he said you were high class, not upper class. High class. That was horrible, dude.
Yeah.
That was horrible. He said upper class instead of high class. Like,
Yeah, because because British.
well, I mean, you understand these guys are from Memphis, right?
Yes, and he's putting a British spin on that.
That's horrible, dude. That is horrible.
Okay.
Okay. I don't even know if I want to make a comment on that. That was horrible. Now maybe we can do like Americans playing bagpipes.
Okay.
What do you think about that? Huh?
Yeah.
Now, there is one of the Attorney General, William Barr, where he plays bagpipes alongside the New York Police Department. You want to hear it?
Okay.
Okay, so let me go ahead and get that set up. That way you guys can hear some quality Americans outdoing the Scottish on the bagpipes. This is something, because that's what we said earlier. I want to show this because this is actually pretty interesting, to be honest with you. So that and it's Irish for an Irish celebration.
Huh? Okay.
And also, let me point out that those guys that had the bagpipes, They were Americans too. What's up?
Yeah.
What's up, Mark? It was an
I just think it's a bit weird because when you think New York, I associate Ireland.
well. That's the weird part. They were using bagpipes for an Irish celebration.
Yeah.
You know.
Or I presume you mean an American Irish celebration.
Well, I mean, think about it.
Presume you thinking St. Patrick's Day, which the Americans sort of
Adopted.
yeah, I was going to say something else, but yeah, adopted.
Now, see, we use what do they call that? That meat. Oh God, something corn. What is it? Something corn. Where they make a meat with potatoes. I found out
Oh, corned beef, yeah.
corned beef cabbage.
American corned beef,
Yeah.
totally different dish, totally.
And then Ireland, I guess, is big on potatoes. Like they celebrate St. Patrick's Day with potatoes and stuff. So
Oh,
I found out that
yeah.
that was their St. Patrick's holiday.
No.
So, but that's the only thing I have going for it. I mean, like that was a pretty weak thing about Americans, like him singing an American song. But I had to kind of like go through and do something that was a little bit kind of saved the day. I guess you could say that was pretty horrible.
That was satire. He was he was taking the mick out of U.S. English, American English.
Well, to be fair, I mean, he could have picked a better song, a better musician, whatever, because like people really don't like Elvis no more.
Elvis still has got a fan base, I presume.
Well, I'm not gonna go there. Like people who like Elvis should be ashamed of themselves. Like
Okay.
my dad. I was raised on Elvis with my dad, and like he had those 8 tracks. You know what I'm saying? Where
Yeah.
whenever you got in the car, he had to slide that Elvis Presley's greatest hits into the freaking 8 track. And we're driving down the road listening to Elvis. Driving home listening to Elvis. Elvis, Elvis, Elvis. I'm like, dude, seriously. I have to
And it
listen.
scarred you for life.
Yes, it did. It was very traumatic. I think the only thing I think is worse than Elvis is like old country music. You know what I mean? Because it's like every single one of them are like drunk.
Talking of that, I was watching some YouTube thing the other day, and it was some sort of review on American absolutely revolting processed food, and I see Dolly Parton has put a name to some disgusting American processed food.
Dolly Parton.
Yeah.
Well, Dolly Parton is kind of different. Like so is Kenny Rogers, in my opinion.
Okay.
You know what I mean?
Okay.
Now, I'm talking about like the rock gut, freaking hanging out at the saloon, kind of tearing my beer kind of songs. You know what I'm saying? Like
Okay.
you got Hank Williams Sr. Oh my God, dude. Freaking, he makes you want to get drunk. You know what I mean? But you sit and listen to that man, and it's like, oh, dude, I want to get drunk. I haven't freaking drank for well over 20 years. You know what I'm saying? And it's like, I just can't handle that shit. But to be fair, I mean, he did die because of alcoholism. His pancreas.
Yeah, he did definitely. Yeah.
hmm So, um, that's the only thing I think that's worse than Elvis Presley. He's going to have to come up with something better ago.
Uh,
Now, there was also something else that Mr. Robot brought up inside of the chat that I pulled up too, and it was like he was talking about CIA back the Dalai Lama until 1974. Now, when he posted that article, it was from I think the Washington Post or some shit. It was he the post said what would have happened if America and its allies were to intervene and protect the rights of the Tibetans under Chinese rule in much the same fashion of what NATO allies just did on behalf of the people of Kosovo. What do you think would have happened?
Back in the 70s, that's an interesting question because we are talking about the late stages of Mao's revolution, aren't we? I mean, it's talking about in the middle of the Cold War.
Now, according to what this says, it says the answer is that the United States already tried a long time ago. Now, for years during the 1950s and 60s, the CIA actively backed the Tibetan cause with arms, military training, money, air support, and all sorts of other help. It didn't work out well at all. Quite a few Tibetans were killed, but China's hold over Tibet was never really shaken. By the end of the 1960s, the CIA ended the effort, leaving the Tibetans embittered and abandoned. Now, now with the Tibet, being abandoned and stuff like that, that's kind of what I don't know, man. I mean, when it comes to Kosovo, you know, or even like Ukraine, period. You know what I'm saying? Stuff like that. I think that those were probably issues we should have stayed out of in the first place. You know what I mean? I'm not really one of these people who think we need to put our
Yeah, but you're looking at two different times, aren't you? You're talking about modern world compared to the height of the Cold War.
well, 1970s wasn't like way back in the dark ages, Mark. I mean,
Yeah, but it was, but we were still before Perestroika. It was still during the height of the Cold War. Gorbachev has yet to come to power. Reagan has yet to come to power. Thatcher has yet to come to power.
well, I mean, now that you bring it up, that's actually a good thing. We did the same thing to Iran, actually, too. When, we abandoned them when their leader freaking grabbed all the money that was in the economy for Iran and hit the road. You know what I'm saying? It's like freaking the United States bailed out big time. That embassy, they should have had those people out of there before they did that.
Oh, we're talking about the last, well, that was just a serious error. That was just a,
Clerical error.
yeah, that was just Biden.
No. This was back in the 80s. Remember that?
Okay. In that case, yeah, we were talking about totally different time again.
Right.
We were still talking about the Cold War. We were talking about the Iraq-Iran war.
Well, actually, I think that might have, that the embassy attack in Iran wasn't that just before the Iraq-Iran war, or it could have been right during the same time period. But I knew it was close. But that's kind of what it reminds me of right there. Now, in the article, it went on to say the details of the CIA Tibetan program have long been cloaked in secrecy. In 1993, then CIA Director R. James Woolsey told Congress that the files on the agency's activities in Tibet and several others of its covert operations in the Cold War would be open. The CIA has since reneged on this promise, claiming it doesn't have enough resources. But recently, a wealth of new information has begun to emerge elsewhere. The Times reported last fall on recently declassified documents showing that the CIA provided an annual subsidy of $180,000 to the Dalai Lama from the late 1950s through the 1960s.
Also, I suspect Britain and again France provided a lot of money as well.
Mm-hmm. Well, what gets me about Tibet, though, is, I mean, that, up until, I'd say, well, until I started actually listening to some stuff from Corbett and Sibel Edmond, I didn't really pay much attention to what was going on in that area. You know what I mean? But like they started pointing out things like Turkey and Azerbaijan in Georgia and all of the freaking illegal arms dealings that's going on through there, and it's being, tunneled through there into freaking Tibet and Afghanistan, and it's really interesting how all that plays out. You know what I mean? Like I didn't know that until like later on in my life. When I was younger, I didn't. It never really stuck out to me.
So we're talking about what during the collapse of the Soviet Union and the Eastern European wars.
Yeah.
Georgia and Kosovo wars.
Yeah. And like they, that they had to have been like there had to have been old routes that were set up for networking when it comes to military and guns and military weapons. They kind of even suspect that's how the Pakistan bomb came to being, is it was routed through that route. You know what I mean? Where they sent it from the United States over to Israel, and then from Israel up to Turkey, and then from Turkey it went to Azerbaijan, and then all the way through that area like Tibet and then Afghanistan, and then finally into Pakistan. But
why not directly from to India? Much more.
You just can't freaking. You just can't illegally transport nuclear freaking materials from point A to point B, though. You know what I'm saying?
No, but from India to Pakistan, that's a lot more direct trades, isn't it?
Well, the interesting thing about it is though, like we don't directly do trades with countries that are allied with China. Okay. So, like with Pakistan,
you do trade with India?
India is not directly connected with. See, Pakistan and India have always been at odds with one another.
Yeah, but India and China.
Now, here recently, maybe, but during the time whenever they came about getting their nuclear weapons, it was a lot of shit going on between India and Pakistan. You know what I mean? Especially when it came to the bomb, that caused a lot.
There's a fractious relationship between the two countries even now.
Mm-hmm. So I mean, I don't know. That's actually something to look more into whenever I think about that. But The only thing I've really looked at when it comes to Tibet, though, is how
Actually, you've just given me an idea. We should do a show on the history of the partitioning of India and Pakistan.
well, that would actually I would actually like to also talk about Kashmir too. To be honest,
Mm.
Kashmir, it has a really interesting story. I would love to do that.
Yeah.
We need to figure.
And then you can draw Britain into it because Britain had a lot of influence in that
What,
entire area.
that's one thing that I really love too, is to like badmouth England, dude. Like there's there's no better feeling than to just like badmouth England.
Yeah, I noticed.
Especially when it comes to like the colonials. Colonials are idiots. You know what I'm saying? Like they just follow blindly according to the monarchy. You know what I mean? Like they just do what you guys over in England tell them to do. They're like, yes sir, no sir.
Maybe.
Canada is the worst. All those damn Canadians. I think that's why America is like the greatest nation on the face of the planet, to be honest. The United States.
Why?
Because we rebelled against the monarchy. We said enough is enough. We're tired of your shit.
Yeah.
You don't
I
think
would
so?
argue that is why we Brits were, and I will stress the term were, the greatest nation on the earth.
Well, I mean, what makes you think that you were the greatest nation on the? I mean, I could honestly say that the Spaniards had you guys beat.
Yeah.
Did you just say something, or was there?
No, that's just outside.
Okay, I just wanted to make sure.
In the world. Yeah.
Now, if somebody starts breaking out into a fight out there, freaking
Why we don't run them in there?
Now, do you know anything about this Barbara Marx Hubbard?
Who? What?
Mr. Robot posts the legacy of Barbara Marx Hubbard in the conscious evolution of psychological operations. So, whenever I looked at this, it was pretty interesting. I think I'll do a little bit more of a deep dive into it. But it says that after 3 years of sleuthing, John Klysek has completed the final installment in his investigative series on the legacy of Barbara Marx Hubbard. In this article, Klysek reveals how Hubbard's Malthusian gospel of conscious transhuman evolution has been suffused with sex magic, manipulated by cults entangled with psyops and intelligence.
It sounds like one of Mr. Robot's things.
Well, I mean, sex magic kind of caught my attention.
Yeah, but it did. Yeah.
You know, because like a lot of people don't realize how much. If you go according to what sex magic is actually supposed to be, they don't realize what it really entails. You know what I'm saying? So it's kind of interesting when you look at it. But then Mr. Robot goes a little bit farther. He starts talking about remote viewing and shit like that.
Precisely.
You know what I mean? So now it says the history of the New Age movement is riddled with stories of cults that have sexually abused initiates under the pretense of actualizing human potential attaining spiritual enlightenment or evolving a higher consciousness. In many cases, these alleged sex cults have been reportedly entangled with intelligence agencies such as the United States Central Intelligence Agency and the Israeli Mossad.
So
Consider
this is all alleged. There's not been any court cases.
consider the following: the Finder's Cut, which was investigated for child sex trafficking and satanic ritual abuse, was reported to be a CIA front operation posing as a futurist network guided by human potential, psychology, New Age, spirituality, and Eastern mysticism. Then you have sects of Tibetan Tantric Buddhists under the auspices of the Dalai Lama, who served as a longtime CIA asset, have been accused of sexually abusing devotees through tantric rituals conducted at Maurice Strong's New Age mountain retreat in Creston, Colorado. And then the third one is NXIVM cult. The NXIVM cult, which branded its sex slaves under the cloak of its human potential, developmental progress, was supported by members of the billionaire Bronfman family, at least one of whom was instrumental in the broader network of the child sex trafficking operation of Jeffrey.
You're making that sound like it's a stated fact.
Hold on, let me finish. Who was evidently yoked with the CIA and the Mossad. No, this is an article that he posted up on there, and I was just reading it to you. This is called This is from the Unlimited Hangout investigative series, and you can find it at the Legacy of Barbara Marx Hubbard in the Conscious Evolution of Psychological Operations. So he brought that up. Now, don't get me wrong. I think when it comes to like groups like DARPA or freaking MK Ultra, which actually was an actual government agency, I could believe that kind of stuff would go on there. you know what I mean? But I don't know. I just I really don't know how to say it without just being honest. I think all the crazies are the ones who freaking talk about remote viewing. Whenever you talk to people who are into remote viewing, most of the time they're freaking psychopaths and nuts. I've yet found any concrete evidence that says there's satanic worshipers out there sex trafficking and freaking murdering people and eating their bodies. There's no evidence. I've heard it. I mean, I think the first year me and you did Roger's Real Time Talk Show, we talked about that, where allegations were made in Ireland, and all of them were freaking discredited.
Okay, I can't remember.
It was when we were talking about that foster care thing. We mentioned it the other night.
Okay.
I would probably guess that Mr. Robot brought this up because we were talking on Jaffe's show the other day about that whole thing with Dalai Lama where he sucked that little kid's tongue.
Okay, I wasn't there, so I wasn't on the show, so I didn't get to.
You know about that, right? About the Dalai Lama and the little boy and the tongue thing. Yeah.
Nope.
Apparently, they're trying to make him out to where he was like a pedophile because he sucked this little boy's tongue in public. And I don't know what the deal is on that, but from what I found out, it's actually one of their traditions to do that. Like they do that. I would never suck another person's tongue, period. But it's like I
It's their culture, their traditions.
yeah. I mean,
Mm.
but I mean, it's just when I hear shit like that, it just kind of sticks out to me. Like people are just ignorant. You know what I mean? It's like just because it's something you don't freaking practice doesn't mean that it's freaking like pedophilia and shit. You know what I mean? Now it's like here recently with Donald Trump. When he sat and called everybody with Epstein as being freaking idiots. Everybody who supported Donald Trump that freaking believed in that, which was about maybe 3/4 of his supporters, got upset. Right? Every single one of them freaking got upset about it, started raising hell, and then like maybe 2 days later, he comes up with this stupid shit about freaking we're going after Obama and shit for all this alleged shit that freaking Obama did, which he probably did. You know what I mean? But
Okay.
all of these idiots, the ones that he publicly called an idiot in public on live television, said, "Oh, this is so great," and they just completely forgot about the fact that freaking Trump literally called them an idiot.
Not the most important news story of the year.
But it gets attention, don't it?
Today, what's the old British saying? Today's newspaper headlines is tomorrow's check paper.
hmm I just find it pretty odd that people are like that, though. Like they're so because it's true. Like I mean, I'm getting to the point now where I'm starting to realize my old friend Roger Nunley. He was right. He stopped voting a long time ago, and he said it's a waste of time. Like freaking, when you get to a point where the only two people you have a choice between is Obama or Biden and or Kamala or freaking Donald Trump, then it's just time to fucking give it up. You know what I'm saying? Like that's some retarded shit, dude. Like you know, it's like
Okay, I was listening to something just yesterday about some person talking about um, the issue of this of the UK having multiple prime ministers between elections, and I I well I believe that we in the UK we don't vote for individual people, we vote for parties. The US and this sort of voting for people, the US system, is just a cult of personalities.
I mean,
I
I don't.
mean, um, do you ever talk about mandates? Do you talk about manifestos ever?
Oh, we talk about a lot more shit than all that crap. I mean, I enjoy talking about political history and finding out what.
No, I mean, prior to an election, rather than talking about an individual politician or potential
Hold
president,
on,
you
they're
actually
doing.
talk about actual policies.
Hold on, it is true that it is happening here, but I mean, you got to realize the same shit's going on in your country too, dude. Like, did you pay attention to freaking the last election you guys had? It was horrible. It was like a
Yeah,
freaking
yeah, yeah,
kangaroo
yeah.
show.
Yeah,
It, I
granted.
mean, that shit's happening everywhere. Look at that shit that happened up in Canada, dude. You know what I mean? I mean, that shit was horrible. You cannot tell me that election was not stolen.
Uh, I don't know. Don't,
Uh,
yeah, I'm not sure about that one.
that from everything that I've seen so far, whenever I looked at like what Naoki was always talking about, it really does look like freaking they stole that election. They wanted to put that dude in freaking power. And it happened here too. Like just before the election, all of a sudden, freaking, well, like you were talking about the popular vote, freaking, it just shifts. You know what I'm saying? All of a sudden, this politician isn't as popular as this one, and bam, all of a sudden, he wins the election.
Again, this is why I kind of stand about U.S. politics. It's all about cult of personalities. Screw the policies. Let's vote between this person and that person. I mean, don't you vote on principles these days?
Well, I mean, I was trying to, but it's just now you can't do it. Like that last vote or that last election, I actually voted for Trump on the simple fact that he was being freaking, uh, in my opinion, he was being freaking, it was a witch hunt. You know what I mean? Um,
Uh,
and, and that was the only reason why I even voted for him. You know what I mean? Because I could see that.
well, because I felt sorry for him.
No, it's because it was a witch hunt. Just that's it. If it was somebody else, not Trump, and they were treating them the way frickin' they were treating Trump, I would have frickin' voted for them. But it was right up in your face. Like the corruption in this government is so in your face that if you cannot see it, you are a frickin' idiot. That's all I gotta say. You know what I mean? Like it's being put right in your face on television, and people are looking away from it and saying, "Oh, that's not true," because we love our freaking so and so, we love Biden, or we love Donald Trump, or we love freaking Kamala Harris, which I don't think anybody really loved Kamala, to be honest.
So really lost.
But you know what I mean? They literally turned a blind eye because they freaking think these people are freaking gonna somehow save them. You know what I mean? Somehow, like I see it as like a form of brainwash. And they don't even talk politics anymore. You're right. You know what I mean?
Mm.
Like all of the bullshit that's being talked about is complete garbage. Okay, we're talking about transgenderism in politics, dude. You know how stupid that shit is? That is dumb. That is stupidity on the freaking worst freaking level. Okay?
Identity politics, cultural Marxism.
I mean, and it's running rampant, dude. It's everywhere. You know, it just amazes me when I see that shit. You know what I mean? And it's like freaking you turn around and you get on the internet, and these same people who are against that are freaking just throwing up all this bullshit about Pizzagate and pedophiles and fucking, um, you know, Christians need to freaking stand together and murder freaking all those Arabs and those Mexicans because them bastards are running into our country and invading us. You know,
Well, that's a different issue.
it's in the news.
Well, it's related, but it is a issue in itself.
You know, I mean,
As we find out in Europe, as we
it's in the
find out
news, man.
in the UK.
Nobody even mentioned the fact that all that money Doge pulled out of freaking those corrupt freaking organizations, they put right back into the government.
Yeah. Where do you think it was going to go?
Freaking it should go back where freaking it came from, to the people, man. Invest that shit into small businesses, stuff
Well,
like
technically, it is going back to the people. It's gone back to public
government.
services.
It's going to go back to public services, and all these corrupt bastards who support freaking Donald Trump is going to get it pocketed into their pocket. So they took all this corrupt freaking money from these woke freaking organizations so that they could put it back into the government and give it to freaking Donald Trump's corrupt freaking group of freaking individuals. So it's still going into the
Or
freaking.
it might actually go into even public services.
Which ones? I don't know. I haven't heard nothing, dude. Where's it going? You know what I mean?
Um, bit of civil servant training or something. I don't know.
Civil servant training, dude. Are you serious? Now you were a civil servant before, weren't you?
No, I've not actually been a civil servant, even though there's a possibility that could become a possibility. But yeah, that's something else. But no, I've never actually been a civil servant.
Do you
I've
think
worked as a on behalf of an agency and as a consultant, but that's external.
that my big question is, do you seriously think any of them are properly trained?
In some cases, yeah.
In some cases, that's it's not really a good
Again,
answer, dude.
the civil service is a large organisation, a large body of people that do a lot of different kinds of things.
So you're talking bureaucracy, basically. So you think that freaking it's okay to take money that was freaking pretty much stolen from the people freaking for these woke freaking programs and then put it into a bureaucracy after you freaking get it out of there. So they did
I
it.
won't, I wouldn't say it's stolen.
What would
I
you call
mean, I
I mean,
mean, you've still got to make sure that, I don't know, you've got police force
well,
protecting you. You've still got to make sure that the potholes in the road is filled up.
they're not being done. Like our infrastructure is horrible, dude.
Uh,
You see what I mean? The infrastructure's falling apart. We haven't freaking had. I think the last thing that was done was actually the locks on the freaking canals here. Well, that was actually done by Trump the last time he was in office. He did the locks when it came to like the Ohio River and shit, and the Erie Canal. But that was the last thing freaking they've done that I know of that was significant when it comes to infrastructure. You know, it's just and it's a load of shit, dude. And like the money came from organizations that were supposed to freaking be going to other countries and teaching people that it was okay to be transgender.
okay, yeah, we have just as we probably got a larger problem in the UK in relation to that.
You guys were probably getting the money that we just took away.
No, we are giving money out.
Oh, you're giving money out.
Yeah.
See, and that's what I'm trying to say. I think England is rotting people's brains and they're infesting the world freaking thought process with their woke ideology. They're they're freaking flooding the economy with their woke ideology through the money. You know what I'm saying? What do you think?
Mm, in some respects, maybe.
How much money are they doing that with? Do you ever check that out and see? Because I know it was a lot here. It was what, 2 billion?
And the rest. It's you would have to look at a lot of data points to be able to get a good figure.
Did they ever decide to do like they did with Doge here in England?
There is talk about some sort of efficiency drive, but at the moment, it seems like the state is employing more and more civil servants. So not under Labour government, at least, not going to happen.
I mean I do believe that was a good call. I think that the way it turned out was a bad idea. You know what I mean? I don't think that money should have been put right back into the frickin' the organizations or not the government that frickin' did all that shit in the first place. You know, but because they were talking about freaking like actually, giving the money back to the people, sending freaking the money out to taxpayers who freaking, because that's where it comes from. They steal that shit out of your freaking paychecks, you know.
Again, I'm not sure if stealing is the correct.
Oh, it's proper when it comes to the income taxes. Like income taxes is 100% constitutionally illegal here in the United States. They should have never had the right to frickin' steal people's frickin' money out of their payrolls. That's so frickin' wrong on so many levels, and they got away with it. So that's the one thing that really catches my attention. Yeah. So this whole thing about Japan goes nationalist again. What do you mean by that?
Well, they just had a general election, didn't they?
Mhm.
Within the last week.
Well, you said they went nationalist though.
Well, I didn't say that. I just pointed a headline. They've gone sort of. They voted in a conservative sort of anti. Japan is only starting to see what both the US and Europe have been experienced for the last 15, 20 years.
You want me to show it?
Influx of immigration, unmanageable immigration.
Now this is a 24-minute show. Do you want me to show the whole thing, or?
No. And besides, we might have a copyright strike if we did.
Yeah.
It is. Japan has always been sort of a insular country anyway, hasn't it?
Well, the thing about Japan is like I don't even know what to talk or what to call them. You know what I'm saying? Because yeah, you could say it's nationalism. You could say it's nationalist, but they're so freaking woke too. You know what I'm saying? Like they're so politically correct mixed in with freaking national ideology.
I won't call it politically correct. They've got a culture of top down or down up honor. They've got that sort of honor system that is specifically Japanese sort of thing.
See, you don't even know how to properly say it, dude. Like I'm sitting there looking at you while you're trying to explain it, and you don't know how to even really say it right.
Well, they've always sort of this sort of idea of they've got a very hierarchical system. They've always culturally they've always had a hierarchical system.
Well, the way they behave, yeah. And it's like
a very Japanese specific hierarchical.
Yeah, that is true when you look at it. Which, by the way, I think we should mention too. Tanhai Tran went to Japan on vacation, and we actually got exclusive video footage of him going to Universal Studios over there. So I thought that was pretty cool. And I also wanted to point out too that if you haven't noticed, WPRPN is not on right now because Jeffy Ryder left Korea to go visit his dad in Canada. So we have Tan leaving Canada to go to Japan while Jeffy left Korea to go to Canada. So you got some interesting things going on there. Sonia was supposed to be in here to do an interview on tattoos, but she said things got a little bit chaotic for her, or it's been getting a little chaotic. Have a lot of stuff to do, so she wanted to reschedule. So
Did
that's
did she come back to you on the one?
no, she didn't. She had me chasing her all over the internet, man, and she didn't answer any responses. I asked her when she wanted to do it, and she never responded. So, which is fine. I mean, it would have been cool to sit and hang out, and talk to her about tattoos, but heck, I could do that on my own. I know all about the tattoo industry, so it would have been cool to have somebody who's in the tattoo industry, hang out and talk about the inks and stuff like that. Her style, things of that nature, what kind of ink she used, because stuff like that is actually pretty important, So now I think we should take another break. I'm gonna go get some coffee, and we'll put some music on, come back and talk about something else. I'm glad we actually did those last few topics, because we started talking about some serious stuff, and I don't really think anything is really good going to come out, or bad is going to come out of Japan being nationalists or being whatever. I don't see that even being an issue, to be honest.
Well, the sort of progressives will make an issue in relation to immigration and stuff.
Come on, dude, seriously. This is Japan we're talking about.
Yeah, but again, Western progressives.
Yeah. I don't see it really being that big of an issue, is all I'm saying. You know what I mean? Because, like, everybody overlooks Japan when it comes to these kind of things. For some reason, I don't know why, but they do. Like, Japan is probably the luckiest island on the face of this planet, other than the fact they got the nuclear bomb dropped on them twice. Other than that, But anyhow, let's put some music on. You mute this out, and we will come back, and after we get this music break and the coffee made, we will come back and do some more of the shows. So the last one was Mayan, classic Mayan from Austin Todd. This next one is going to be from Mr. Robot, so you probably want to mute out Mr. Mark Edworthy so that you don't have to listen to all of that horrible, horrible stuff that Mr. Robot talks about. Okay?
Will do.
Okay, so go ahead and go get you some coffee, use the bathroom, and we will be back.
Yeah.
Everything's spinning, but nothing's true. Time slips away, I'm feeling lost in this glitching world. What's the cost? Glitches in the matrix, minds are getting thin. Patterns break, the code begins to spin. Is this real or just a dream within? Glitches in the matrix, where do we begin? Faces blur, they're not the same. People I know don't recall my name. chasing echoes, searching clues. Every step forward, something to lose. The world's unraveling, I can't pretend. Are we at the start, or is this the end? Glitches in the matrix, minds are getting thin. Patterns break, the code begins to spin. Is this real, or just a dream within? Glitches in the matrix, where do we begin? Red pill, hookah, what's the choice? In the silence, can you hear my voice? Retreat or stay, there's no right way. In this fractured world, we start to sway. Glitches in the matrix, minds are getting thin. Patterns break, the code begins to spin. Is this real, or just a dream within? Glitches in the matrix, where do we begin? Caught in the chaos, we try to find the truth that's hidden deep in our mind. In the flicker of light, in the glitchy night, we're lost in the matrix, searching for what's right. Saw a shadow move, but no one's there. People I know don't recall my name. Voices echo in a distant frame. Is this life, or just some twisted game? Saw a shadow move, but no one's there. Flicker in the corner caught me unaware. Truth is hiding in the dark. Every flicker leaves a mark. Saw a shadow move, but no one's there. Flicker in the corner caught me unaware. Truth is hiding in the dark. Every flicker leaves a mark. Glitches in the matrix, minds are getting thin. Patterns break, the code begins to spin. Is this real, or just a dream within? Glitches in the matrix, where do we begin?
Glitch in the code tonight. See the world in neon light. Fight to free our minds. Truth we seek to find. Run through crowded streets. Dodge the agents fleet. Bullet time it slows. Reality it blows. Reloaded we are free. In the matrix we will be. On this journey we will go. Feel the energy we know. Machines control the skies. Human in them never dies. Messages and dreams. Nothing's what it seems. Reloaded, we are free. In the matrix we will be. On this journey we will go. Feel the energy we know. Run through crowded streets. Dodge the agents fleet. Bullet time it slows. Reality it blows. Reloaded, we are free. In the matrix we will be. On this journey we will go. Feel the energy we know. Machines control the skies. Human in them never dies. Messages and dreams. Nothing's what it seems. Reloaded, we are free. In the matrix we will be. On this journey we will go. Feel the energy we know. Machines control the skies. Human in them never dies. Messages and dreams. Nothing's what it seems. Choose to open doors. Fight through endless wars. Code it changes fast. Hope it's built to last.
Fucking set it up, cunt!
Yeah, that's it. Fucking oath.
Cunt! Fuck off, cunt!
I'm a cunt from way back, yes I'm the original, not political. This is more analytical. On myself I approach your computer with stealth. Not for wealth, more like a magazine shooting off so clean. Because I'm keen, no other meaning, it's obscene. If you're not around, well then I'm going to town and take you down with my Kali Linux system. Using my wisdom, hacking in, no way to resist them. Exfiltrate all your sensitive loot, it's a hoot. No time to reboot, just shoot and execute. When you're out of town, it's your world that crashes. Look on your Facebook as the anger flashes. No one can stop me from tapping that line. So how about next time we don't intertwine online? You've got no two-factor authentication. As the cops came, I'm gone, no altercation.
I got your back, but you best to watch your front. Cause Mr. Robot's in front and I'm a cunt. I got your back, but you best to watch your front. Cause Mr. Robot's in front and I'm a cunt.
Such a cunt and I'm bringing my forte. I'm the kind of cunt I'd even make a whore pay. Your way or mine, don't cross the line. Cause I'm even worse when I'm drunk on the cheap wine. Sometimes I snap, act out for vandalism. And other times I'll just diss you to the rhythm. Prison couldn't hold a cunt like me, not likely. Cause I direct shit like Spike Lee. But this ain't a movie, this is real life. I'd fuck your life just to cause some strife. I've done a lot of cunty things, and out of all the cunts you know, I'd be the king. But you best to watch your front, cause robots in front and I'm a cunt. I got your back, but you best to watch your front, cause robots in front and I'm a cunt. This is for the cunts who clap and love the sound. Attacking from the cloud, then I'm back in underground. There's no masking for me now. Popping tornadoes round the globe, track and hunt you down. I think I'll need a planet-sized urn, cause some men just wanna see the world burn. Now it's your turn. I've got your back. Cause robots in front and I'm a cunt. One thing I do, and this is true, I'm sometimes a cunt to all of my crew. You know the usual stealing of hashes, and I'm known to burn cunts down to ashes. They say, hey cunt, when I answer the phone. They say, where's Robot? I say, the cunt's not home. I say, where are you cunts, and what are you cunts doing? And when I'm pissed off, they say, Robot, the cunt is spewing. No one will do it, your sister I'll be screwing in the lewin. And I guess that you knew I'm not looking for a crew, but I know it's true that you are a fucking cunt too.
Fucking cunt.
Mess with the best, die like the rest.
Don't make a sound. Boom, crash, as go pop. Earthplane wave of a body drops. They're here, we're doomed. From Mars to Earth, bodies consumed. Marble shake, the ground will quake. No time to run too late, too late. Attack, look at them coming down. Attack, boom, boom. Attack, boom, this ow. Ow, attack, boom, 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 boom. Attack, boom, boom, boom. The bass go boom, come in peace. The bass stack, boom, boom, pow. Take cover, laser beam, pow. Head spinning, Martian prow. They blew up Congress after pop. The bass dropped heavy, now stop. Boom, hack, on the attack. But we'll work on the siege, no time to pack. Boom, bass sack, here comes the hack. Wobble, pow. Boom, they guarded, boom, the bass pow, boom. Ashes flash, taking over, boom, boom. Earthquakes, bodies drop, stomp, saps, pow, pow, pow. We're losing track. Don't run, we are your friends. The bass wobbles can't hold back. Boom, attack, boom, boom, attack, boom, bass pow, pow, boom, 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 can reign. Bass pow, no more pain. Release the dust, boom pow, the bass wheels to save the human race. Martians flee, boom boom, victory. Beatbox slave, Earth lives to fight another day. Don't make a sound. Boom, crash, let's go pop. Earth ain't ready, but the body drops. They're here, we're doomed. From Mars to Earth, bodies consumed. Marble shake, the ground will quake. No time to rush, run too late, too late. Attack, look at them coming down.
Give it to me, baby. What you got? What you got? What you got?
Okay, I'm back. So let me make sure.
I suggest. Well,
That was
Okay.
weird. Yeah, sorry about that. I have
Okay.
to. You there?
I suggest that you review the music that you played. The first one is probably not that you played is probably not suitable or anything.
For anything. What is it?
Anything.
Is it pornography?
Whereas lyrics, I suggest that you review.
Okay. So
Yeah.
I'm kind of wondering what you're talking about there.
If it uses a specific word, which
Oh,
the
Mr. Robot.
yeah,
Oh, he uses the C word.
yes,
It's like a everyday hangout kind of thing over there in Australia.
maybe in
They just
Australia, in
love they just
most
love.
civilized countries.
You better be careful. Those colonials are going to start an uprising. You're going to be in
Well,
trouble.
yeah, don't be surprised if YouTube gives you a strike or something.
That's not the one I keep getting in trouble for. It's the one that has Ray Charles on it.
Okay.
I don't understand what Russia's problem with Ray Charles is at all. I have no idea what the deal is. It's like, what is it? Putin hates Ray Charles for some reason. Do they have like some kind of long rivalry between each other?
Or possibly just content matching.
Ray Charles, dude. Like, I don't
Yeah,
even know if Ray
probably
Charles
just
is.
copyright content matching.
No, I mean they ban it straight up.
Yeah.
It's not even copyright because they'll tell you if it's copyright or banned. And like whenever I play it on YouTube, it says some countries have banned your video because of this, and then I click on it and it's Ray Charles' song, the one with Ray Charles.
Okay.
So that's weird. I don't understand that. That's really strange.
Yeah, but for that first track, I would advise you not to play it because that is going to cause. I can foresee that's going to cause you a lot of problems.
Well, I'm pretty much sick and tired of YouTube, to be honest with you. Like, and to be fair, they have really calmed down on a lot of their shit. Like, there's a few streams that I've done here recently that they've just overlooked or something that before I would have gotten in trouble with. Like, I streamed a Nancy show on WoW last night. Then I didn't get anything from it. And you heard some of the shit they were talking about on there. I just let it keep going. And it's weird because it might be that the Wonderful World of Weirdness is screwed up with the algorithms because the interview I did with Raph, I ended up freaking getting hit with violations on the Praetorian when I put it on the Praetorian. But I did his interview on the Wonderful World of Weirdness, and it didn't do a damn thing. Like, I didn't get in trouble, nothing. It's still up on there. It was never
And exactly the same copy.
same exact one. All I did was download it and uploaded it onto the
And you
Praetorian.
didn't modify the content in any way.
Nope.
You can retain it.
Right. And I actually downloaded it from the Wonderful World of Weirdness onto the Praetorian, and that's where I got hit with it. So, apparently, something is going on with the Wonderful World of Weirdness where I'm not getting in trouble. But when I go and I freaking do it on this channel, which is my main one, or I do it on the Praetorian, they detect it and I get in trouble.
Could it be just an amalgamation of previous strikes?
Probably. Because that channel's been through hell, man. I've been trying to kind of restore its views and everything, but it's so bad. I had to go in and delete every single video that was on there before I took over for John because YouTube had a problem with UFOs and ghosts videos being on there without having somebody talking during it. You know what I mean? Creative Commons.
Oh, don't tell me you've just been posted. Yeah, no. That's bad form. That's just bad form.
That's for years too. No, I haven't. That's what was going on before, and then I had to finally, eventually, just delete them. So
I see. I look these videos being published by mainly Americans, where they will just take another content creator's video, play that, and occasionally might just nod their head or say yes or something.
well, you guys try to do that shit to me all the time. So don't be
Well,
attacking
I don't.
Americans.
I don't.
Well, not you, but freaking Mr. Robot, Australia, Mr. Tanhai Tran, Mr. Canada. Everybody wants me to always put this footage on, you know what I mean? It's like, come on, dude. Freaking, first of all, when I do my streams, I want it to be my content. I don't want it to be from somebody else. I don't even like using freaking the music I've been putting on it because it doesn't belong to me. If I could come up with my own music, I'd do that, you know?
As long as you stay within the fair, as long as you stay within the reasonable amount of fair use.
I don't trust it. I don't trust it. YouTube has treated people with this Creative Commons shit like crap, and then if you include Facebook in on the whole story, then it gets even worse because what's fair use and Creative Commons on Facebook isn't necessarily the same when it comes to YouTube. Like I can use their free music on Facebook, no problems. If it's their music, I can use that for that video. But when I take that video with their music and put it on YouTube, I get hit with a copyright infringement.
Is it actually Creative Commons or is it their own license agreement?
Probably. And if I do the same thing with YouTube on Facebook, it happens as well. So
Do you review the license agreements?
I don't even think they give you the opportunity to review it. If you want to use it, you use it, and that's about it.
No.
You know what I mean? They don't. I don't think they ever did. To be honest, though, I've never really taken time to pay attention because I'm not like you. Not like you.
You should. You should.
So Rhea is putting a bunch of weird shit into stream, and she said, "Freaking real or AU or AI, the internet is now impossible to trust." Now, have you seen a lot of these videos people are posting up about AI, if it's AI or if it's real?
I try to ignore this rubbish.
No, I mean,
I try to ignore this sort of content.
well, when have you seen the ones where it says real or AI? That's all I'm asking.
No, not really. Not really. I've got no interest in this sort of content.
I've been noticing that a lot more people are putting it up, and it's like I've also been kind of paying attention to what everybody's been talking about here recently. Like they've gotten way fired up more on like the AI in the last, I'd say, month or two than even before, back whenever we were talking about it. You know what I mean?
Mm.
I don't even know if you noticed that or not, but like
every day I hear something about artificial intelligence this, artificial intelligence that, artificial intelligence my ass.
well, I wouldn't go that far.
Getting tedious.
Okay, that's better. Like you said, my ass. When you want somebody to artificially implant something up your ass.
Yeah, an artificial intelligence ass. Yeah.
Yeah. Eater of the ass. That's the thing I was talking about the other day whenever we were talking about the Lotus. What is that one channel? Something Lotus, the Lotus Eaters.
Yeah.
Freaking! I went on their channel and it says "Eater of the Lotus" on there. Did you notice that? Their name on YouTube is Eaters of the Lotus.
No, it's the Lotus. They've got about 3-4 channels, all related to Lotus Eaters, podcast of the Lotus Eaters Online, and something else.
That's what gave me the idea. Like we should make a channel called Eater of the Ass. Eater
Family friendly. And talking about family friendly, and actually Rhea, funny enough, she just messaged me asking me if Wikipedia is working for me, and so I asked her why should it not, and she stated that she heard something about the UK has banned most websites. What she's talking about is as of today, or yesterday now, my time, it is now a legal requirement for any content that the mainstream or platforms, social media platforms that are, or platforms that are based in the, I've got a presence in the UK, so I official office in the UK, have to now verify the age of the individuals that's watching the content or viewing the content.
All right. So now we know that Rhea is a freaking juvenile delinquent.
Right. So yeah, so things like Pornhub would have to be stringent verification of their user base, and social media platforms that have offices in the UK, so X, Twitter, or X, Twitter, Facebook, Meta platforms, have to now, for any content that is deemed to be adult content by the UK government, or by Ofcom, the Office of Communication in the UK, has to now provide, or those companies have to provide a rigorous mechanism to verify their user base.
That's messed up. But Rhea did actually freaking tell on herself now, because now we know that she's a juvenile delinquent.
Why? No?
Because she can't freaking watch freaking Wikipedia because her age.
Well, technically she can, because she's a US citizen.
No, she's not.
Unless she's VPN into the UK to watch content.
She's actually Canadian, if you pay attention to her.
Is she? I thought she was US.
Yeah.
She's US.
Read between the lines. When she gets mad at you because you say something hurtful about Canada, dude, it's
She's American. She's US.
I guarantee you Rhea is freaking Canadian through and through, dude.
Okay. I disagree.
I would guarantee you that she is a Canadian.
No, based on the conversations I've had with her, the discussions I've had with her, she's US.
No, I've got to make sure. I think it was a waste of time to even start. Yeah. I think.
But you know where where the verification thing's going to go to?
Yeah, it's gonna go into freaking creeping into people's identities and shit.
Yeah. So online identification, which
Yeah.
won't tell me hits the UK.
Well, it's gonna hit the UK first, like the
Well,
UK.
yeah.
You know what I mean? UK will just openly accept it, and that's the thing.
Actually, this has already been done in Australia, hasn't it? If I remember, it was earlier this year, in which actually back in December. Actually, it's still a bill, I believe. So it's not an act. The Online Safety Amendment Social Media Minimum Age Bill 2024. Yes, so it has yet to become an act as far as I'm aware. Which which forces people under the age of 16 from accessing, or at least in theory, accessing certain content.
Yeah. Well, I mean,
I don't know. Arguably, it's very hard to regulate, to enforce, but at least in theory.
this is kind of why I have my issues with Element. I've been going on there with you guys, and I'm okay with it as long as I'm hanging out with you guys. But if I didn't hang out with you, I wouldn't even be on there because of that verification key that they make you do. You know, and I understand everybody's big on the encryption that's on there. But like this whole verification every single time you go on there, first of all, that's annoying. And second of all, I don't like the idea of doing that because that's leaving a freaking digital fingerprint. You know what I mean?
Yeah, but that's somewhat different. That's a
It can still be tracked, though. That's the whole point. It can.
no keys are encrypted. The keys are
If somebody
unless you're publishing your encryption
Right.
keys yourself.
if it accidentally gets released, then freaking bam, dude. Like, you know what I mean? Somebody comes in and hacks my computer, and I've got my freaking encrypted key sitting on my freaking on a file. Bam, they got it. They can go right on.
That's down to your own security procedures.
But if it's done, man, you know what I mean? It doesn't matter. None of that means nothing if it's happened to you.
I mean, I could make the same argument about people who let's say post who keep personal identifiable information on the computer unencrypted, so addresses or bank details or any other personal identifiable information.
Well, this
security numbers.
This goes back to a lot of the stuff that people have been talking about. They've been talking about this for a while when it comes to allowing this kind of shit to take place. There was that freaking big virus that happened a long time ago where they attacked Iran with it, and it eventually actually turned against everybody here in the United States because it was the United States and Israel who did it. I forgot what the name of it was. They came out with a documentary called Zero something, and it was basically how freaking the United States came up with their cyber command. You remember hearing about all that before?
You have to remind me of the specifics.
Well, the U.S., we have the U.S. Cyber Command, which is set up to where it's supposed to attack foreign governments that are trying to attack us. And how they do that is they go into their programs and they set freaking packets in there, that's malware, and they track that malware. after freaking like Desert Storm and freaking the Iraqi war, they started finding out that they had this network set up all over freaking during that time period, and they were actually able to track freaking these people who were fighting against them in real time because of it. They turn around and they attacked Iran, and then something happened. I can't remember exactly, but it literally ended up turning against us. That could have been the shit that happened with Snowden, too. It led up to Snowden, but all of that was because of freaking malware. Just
Okay.
basic malware that was introduced into these people's freaking laptops, their telephones.
Yeah. The the US answer to the UK's 77th Brigade.
That's what it was, wasn't it?
Yeah, the 77th Brigade, which is a Army, a UK MOD or Army unit
And they're affiliated with
for the purpose of cyber security.
right. And that was actually started out with Israel. Israel's the ones who first came out with that program, and they ended up working together with England, and then eventually the United States. And the United States developed the Cyber Command, and then like the NSA actually does they do the freaking coding and everything, but they're not legally allowed to attack when it comes to cyber attacks. But they can detect them, okay? So what they do is they detect these cyber attacks, and then they send the information to Cyber Command, and Cyber Command's the one that attacks. So not only do they detect attacks coming from foreign countries, but then they freaking also attack it with another organization. That's how it works. Somehow that ended up messing up, and I really need to go back through that. I was talking about that before, where I was wanting to get back into it. So I think that's going to be the funnest stuff for me, because I really enjoyed doing my conspiracies this year on the Wonderful World of Weirdness. And like this, what was it, the fourth generation warfare, fourth and fifth? That's where I ended.
To be fair, I was thinking about creating a new post today on mine in relation to the usage of the UK Online Safety Act in relation to the identity thing, but it's too complicated an issue, and I've already released a recent post in relation to that back in March.
Well, I mean, actually, if you've already released them, I don't see a problem with, you know what I mean? I agree with you. You probably shouldn't do it since you've already covered it. But
but I was just saying to you, I've published quite a bit of content in relation to this of the last 4 years. Mainly when was remember, mainly was it was still a bill, but yeah.
Now, when it comes to the next topic, did you see that topic Miss Robot posted up here about a train that's faster than an airplane?
I don't really view a lot of Mr. Robot's content because there's a lot of.
It says on here that China has created the Maglev train, and it's supposed to be the super fast. It travels at 1,200 kilometers distance between Shanghai and it reportedly reduced the present travel time of 5.5 hours to as little as 2.5 hours
Between Shanghai and
between Beijing and Shanghai.
okay. If I remember rightly, there's only, as far as I am aware, there's only one track. It's only a limited, in limited usage, and the infrastructure to build, or the cost to build further infrastructure is possibly not practical.
I mean, according to this, they've already got it.
Yeah, but only one line.
Just one line. Well, that
Yeah. Remember, China's a big country.
yeah, I know. Well, 1,200 kilometers. That's quite a long ways. Now I know how many miles would that be? 1,200 kilometers.
KM2.
Why she tell me it's like 600?
Yeah.
Is it 600?
0.62, isn't it? So 1,200.
1,200 miles?
It's 745.
745.
Yeah. And a half, roughly. 745.64.
So you're talking about so see, like from St. Louis, if we left St. Louis and went to Kansas City, that would be roughly the same amount of distance, okay? Now, if you're talking about a train that can make it from frickin' that distance in 2.5 hours, that's pretty fast. That really is pretty fast. A 6-hour drive from here where I'm at to St. Louis, which is not even that distance, is a 6-hour drive. Or no. So I mean, you're talking about pretty fast train, 5.5 hours. Well, traveling time of 5.5 hours is the regular ones, and it's been reduced down to 2.5 hours. So that's actually pretty cool. And by the way it looks like it's a freaking silver bullet.
Yeah.
That's kind of cool. So.
But again, it's only one track or one set of tracks. So we'd like to know the practicality of this, and
Can it carry passengers too, though? You know what I'm saying? Like having just having the engine running is one thing, but hook that up and put passengers on that, and let's see how fast it goes. You know what I mean? That's a different story altogether. Because by the looks of it, they don't have anything hooked onto it. It's just the engine by itself.
And is it going to be used for passengers, or is it just going to be used for freight?
I'd love it. I'd love it if they had like passengers on there and they're all stuck to the walls and shit. Got their faces glued to the glass because they're going so fast.
And there's the old idea that Chinese, much like Indian trains, you get, they're overflowed with passengers.
Mm-hmm. Well,
like sardine cans.
They have like videos of that all over the place. Like that's not even like a stereotype or anything. That's actually the truth. I've seen videos where they actually have guards standing at the edge of the train so that whenever they get in there, the guards can push them in so that the doors can close. They would literally like push them so that they can get in there all the way because they were so packed in there. that like people's butts were hanging out and stuff. So the guys who were the guards would literally freaking would literally have to push them in so that the doors on the train would close.
And China is not known for its safety standards.
Oh,
If
okay.
there's such a, yeah.
I kind of get where you're going now. You're taking advantage and like this is your opportunity to bash the Chinese. I see what that's all about. First it was the Americans, now it's the Chinese. He never.
Equal opportunities.
See, that's the way I feel about it. Like here lately, everybody's been mad at me because I've been talking so much smack about Trump. You know what I mean? And it's like freaking, you know what, dude? Freaking, I don't discriminate. You know what I mean? I freaking will talk crap about pretty much anybody. You know, I mean, and that's just the way I am. So, so now that we're on China, there's another thing that I do believe that Mr. Robot posted this too. But did you hear about the isotope he was posting on there? He posted something on there that claims that they have found a new freaking chemical on the moon. I believe it is. Scientists have found a new mineral on the moon, and it's actually an isotope, which is helium-3. And they say that it's supposed to be useful for fueling nuclear fusion reactors. Have you heard about that?
I just saw the headline, the tagline they used.
Mm-hmm. Now it says that Chinese scientists have achieved a remarkable new feat in their research of the moon as they have discovered and identified the 6th new lunar mineral. The Chinese National Space Administration and the Chinese Atomic Energy Authority jointly announced in Beijing on Friday that the new mineral change site negative Y, change site Y, it just had the slash on there, was found by scientists at the Beijing Research Institute of Uranium Geology from surface samples returned by the country's Change 5 robotic mission, and has been certified by the International Mineralogical Association and its Commission on New Minerals, Nomenclature and Classification. So yeah, they call it Change Site Y, and it's supposed to be lunar marylite. So we were actually talking about this in chat the other day, and I told Mr. Robot, I was like, this is where you're going to start paying attention to the moon, and as time goes by, you're going to see chunks of it missing.
How much of this material is on the moon?
According to what they're saying, they've only found samples of it.
And also, isn't the moon already, isn't the entirety of the moon governed by various states anyway?
You talking about China?
Well, various countries. I've got their own little segments of the moon now, haven't they? And the UN.
Well, the thing of it is I don't. Now you're talking about who actually has priority of the moon. Is that what you're saying?
Yeah. There isn't a single country that has the priority of the moon because the moon is split up.
Well, the thing about the moon is like there's only been like what 3 or 4 countries, maybe three at the most, that's actually made it to the moon. I believe.
I'm not, I'm not sure about the legality of ownership.
China, I believe, was the third actual country in the world that made it to the moon, other than the United States and Russia.
Mm.
Now I've heard like there's supposed to be a country in the Middle East that's planning on doing a moon landing, but they've never done it, and they said they were going to do it like 8 or 9 years ago. But I mean, I've yet.
And there's been some talk about India.
Well, India, you can't listen to what they say. Well, I mean, you keep always bringing India up like they're important and shit, dude. Like, come on, seriously.
Well, they've got their own space program, even though mainly we Brits, have been on, yes, I've been chucking money left, right, and centre at India for their population and um, the economic issues. But yeah, there's been lots of corruption in India. There is a lot of corruption in India, and they, even though they are arguably a third world country, they've got their own space program.
Well, I mean, if they go to the moon, that would be good. I said that the other night about like exploration. I think it would be an injustice if people freaking stopped exploring. You know what I mean? I don't. I think they should actually do with the moon like they did Antarctica, where hands off. You know what I mean? You can't claim any parts of the moon as just for your country. It should just be open territory.
I think there are international treaties already. I think I would have to do some research on this, but there are international treaties already there enforced.
And like with this new mineral, too, everything I read so far on that article, I mean, it just says that the mineral was discovered. It's not saying exactly how much. And
Yeah,
China,
abandoned. Is it? It is. And what is it?
I don't see China actually openly telling everybody if they had enough to freaking fuel uranium productions. You know what I'm saying? And they're not just going to openly say that to the world community. Oh yeah, we found this, and guess what? We got this much. I just don't see that happening. Just being honest.
And also, yeah, how would you do a mining operation on the moon without anybody noticing?
Well, I remember that one show that was on back in the what was it, 70s or the 80s, where they had that moon base and nuclear. There was that nuclear explosion that knocked the moon off of orbit, and it freaking floated away.
Oh, you talking about
Space 2000.
Space 1999?
Yeah.
Yeah. Was that British or was that American?
That was American, but the movie it came off of, or the TV show it spun off of, was English. That was the one where that dude was like this agent, and he had this real spiffy car, dude. And he'd go into this building and he'd sit in his desk. He'd hit a button and his whole desk would go down into the underground. And
I think you're thinking of a different part.
No, they actually ended that show so that they could do Space 1999.
Okay.
Now this one was kind of cool because it was like aliens would be coming in to try to attack the Earth, and they had a space defense freaking force that would deflect UFOs and destroy them, because these evil UFOs were coming to try to attack Earthlings and murder us. So we had to we had to freaking destroy them. You know what I'm talking about? It was the guy was like a blonde-headed, skinny dude.
No.
I'm
But
surprised.
again, this is all fictional.
Well, I mean, it could have been real.
Yeah, sentient, fluffy colored, sentient colored blue, fluffy aliens from Alpha Centauri could be real.
No, come on, dude. I mean, I'm talking about like aliens that are out to do harm to freaking Earthlings here on Earth, and having
Okay.
like a space force that would patrol the orbit of the Earth, so that freaking if these UFOs tried to come to Earth, they would be shot down and treated with freaking prejudice. You know what I mean? They would be. How would you say that? They would be dispatched with extreme prejudice.
Okay. I remember beams of sentient light coming down to Earth and attacking humanity. Um, the Mysterons.
The Mysterons.
Yeah.
I've never even heard of that.
The Anderson puppets, the 1960s. Captain Scarlet.
Captain Scarlet.
Yeah.
No, we didn't have that kind of nonsense here in the United States.
Okay. It was an American created thing.
No.
It was pre-Thunderbirds.
What was it?
Captain Scarlet and the Mysterons.
I'm gonna have to Google that. Captain Scarlet.
Yeah.
Captain Scarlet and the Mysterons.
Yeah.
Oh, okay. You're talking about, yeah. This is actually a spin-off of what's the other one? Where they had it was something Force. Yeah, these are the dolls.
Yeah, it was Anderson. Can't remember his name now. He did a lot of this stuff, didn't he? He did Thunderbirds, he did Stingray.
Yes. Okay.
Yeah,
No, that's,
Thunderball X, whatever it was, XO5 or whatever. Jerry Anderson.
yeah, I believe so. I believe
Yeah.
that's who it was. Yeah, they don't really have very. Captain Scarlet presents a war of nerves between Earth and the Mysterons, a race of Martians who possess partial control over matter. That's horrible, dude. Gary Anderson was on there. Sylvia Anderson, Ed Bishop, Donald Gray, and Francis Matthews, as well as
Actually, he actually also worked on Space 1999.
uh-huh.
Yeah.
Yep.
Yeah.
And Gary Files. Yep. Now that's actually some pretty messed up shit. Like even when I was a little kid, I didn't watch them because I knew they were dolls and shit. And I was like, dude, seriously, you're gonna just
Didn't you ever watch Stingray and Thunderbirds when you were a kid?
I watched the Thunderbirds sometimes, but they weren't cartoons. And see, there was a difference between watching
Thunderhawks, which I remember quite a lot.
Thunderbirds.
Fireball XL5, Supercar, UFO,
No,
UFO.
UFO was what we were just talking about, actually. That was the one where frickin' the dude went into that building and it was a real human. Okay, and he sat down in the frickin' desk. He pushed a button and his desk went down to the lower floors, and that was the command center, so that frickin' he could go in there and kick some ass. Tell those tell those aliens this wasn't their home. They didn't belong here. Get out of here. Get out of here so us humans can frickin' live our lives in peace. What do you think?
Yeah,
See,
yeah. Again, it's all fictional.
the 70s were cool, though, dude. It's like, freaking, we didn't play this freaking goody goody, let's be all nice and pacifist towards aliens bullshit. You know what I mean? It was like, we're gonna send them packing, dude. It was like, you don't belong here. This is our world. You know?
I don't know. The day that they have stood still was a relatively nice, peaceful film.
Day that the earth stood still.
Yeah.
The robot came down and frickin' told everybody, look, you are going to join our federation or we're destroying your planet.
Yeah.
So how do you find peaceful out of that, dude? Seriously. Like, seriously.
Okay.
You know what I mean? It's like, come on, dude. So, now, I do know that, like, back when it was in the black and whites, they were actually more sympathetic towards scientists. You know what I mean? Like, they made it to where the government and the scientists actually were trying to help when it came to aliens. But then at some point, after freaking, I'd say about the 50s maybe, all of a sudden the government was against it. You know what I mean? And the scientists were freaking didn't believe in UFOs, where before, when they were on sci-fi, they were portrayed as people who were actually the good guys. You know what I mean?
No. Who's the prolific writer that did a lot of there are a lot of old Americana radio shows, radio plays were based on not Alfred Hitchcock. Asimov. Asimov wrote a lot of stuff in the 40s, 50s about sort of questionable aliens.
Now, I don't know why we ended up getting into this topic, to be honest with you. But I also wanted to bring up this next thing about what we had on the chat. It's about the West Antarctic ice sheet. Did you see that article?
Yeah, I mentioned it to you last night or today. Yeah.
So, what's your thoughts on that?
Nothing but Mr. Robot scaremongering, the end is nigh sort of thing. Who did I mention last night? The US politician that was around in the early 2000s that was talking about the
Al Gore. Al Gore.
the death of polar bears.
Yeah. Don't give up on the polar bears. I get so sick when I hear that freaking commercial. It's like, dude, I've never seen a freaking polar bear in my life. What the hell are you talking about? Don't give up on the polar bears.
I've seen a
Yeah,
few polar bears, actually.
I
Yeah,
haven't. Shit, I've never.
have you never been to a zoo?
No, I mean, dude, I don't like go to zoos. That's where you. I mean, that's where you take the retards to, right? You take retards to the zoo.
When you were a kid?
No, I had a lot better things to do.
Okay.
I had a lot. I had a lot of better things to do than go to a freaking zoo. I actually went to the St. Louis Zoo. I take that back. And they have this big freaking red freaking orangutan. It was a gorilla, and he would stand there and he had hair going all the way down to the freaking ground. He was old. And when he got mad at people, man, he would freaking take his hand and pull freaking poop out of his butt, dude, and throw it at the glass window. He used to get so mad. He called him Old Red, or he was red. He was one of the oldest orangutans in captivity.
Okay.
But that was it.
Would you be mad if you were stuck in behind a sheet of glass with people looking at you every single day?
Yeah. Well, he was old too. You know what I'm saying? Like, kind of get a little irritated by that. But with this topic though about the ice sheets thing and the tipping, now when I read this, it was talking about he was talking about like the sea or the water levels raising 3 meters, and you know what I mean?
Yeah, Al Gore wrote a lot about this back in the 2000s.
Well, it goes even farther back than that. They were talking this crap in the 90s with like sci-fi movies and shit too. You know what I mean? Like I've mentioned it before too, where they were talking about like sea levels going up, and New York is supposed to be knee deep in water. You know, they've been talking this shit for well over 35, 40 years now. You know what I mean? It's supposed to be, leading to a 3 meter rise in global coastlines virtually in a few years. Now, you know what I mean? This is the same crap. That's basically it. They've been saying this stuff for decades.
Yeah. Always in the next within the next decade. Been talking about this for the last 40 odd years. That the end of the world is going to happen in the next decade. But guess what? We're still here.
Well, I mean, he should really actually start coming in and talking about this stuff, because like he just keeps posting all this garbage. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
And then he never shows up. He stayed on the phone yesterday for like 4 hours talking to his ex-wife. You know what I mean? Come on, dude. Seriously.
Yeah.
I mean, don't you have anything better to do than to talk to your ex-wife? You got to be pretty pathetic, dude, if you're going to be talking to your ex-wife for 5 hours.
I don't know if you haven't spoken to her. Well, I don't think it was wife. I just think it was a girlfriend, according to.
No, he said it.
It depends. But if you haven't spoken to,
he said it's
person,
his wife. Man.
okay.
He did say it. I'm calling him out, like freaking pathetic, dude. It's like, he said a pretty girl. He said pretty girl at first, and I was like, cool, it's all right. You're talking to a pretty girl for like 5 hours. It's cool. But then he said ex-wife. I was like, you're shitting me, dude.
Definitely actually meant his wife.
Yeah.
Just trying to look for it again.
But no, on a serious note, he was talking to his ex-wife last night. That's why he couldn't come in and hang out with us. So, which is fine, because I don't really like the idea of having Mr. Robot around when we're trying to talk about political history.
Yeah. It wouldn't work. He would have got forward easily.
Well, he would have started talking about Atlantis and shit, you know,
Yeah, precisely. We'd have got bored easily.
and we would have had to talk about Lemuria and, and the conflicts between the Nagas and the Atlanteans, or the Lemurians and the Atlanteans, and because he was notorious for that shit. Back when I was doing my ancient history stream on the Praetorian, it was just supposed to be about history. Okay, that's it, just textbook history. And he comes in there and he just starts talking about Atlantis and shit. You know what I mean? I'm like, God damn it. You know,
As far as last night was concerned, how would a conversation about Atlantis relate to political philosophy?
well, I don't know if he could actually have done that. I think it would have probably, because like that was some pretty complex shit. I don't know if he knows anything about Voltaire or you know, Trotsky or well, that was you. You mentioned Trotsky.
Yeah. I was getting
Tolstoy.
mixed up with Tolstoy and Trotsky.
But you know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
I don't think he could have handled that. You barely handled it. It was like your head. I was like, that's where it all started. I told Mr. Robot in chat, I was like, dude, like Mark Edworthy's head almost freaking exploded last night. Like,
Well, I was totally unprepared for last night.
well, you had just woken up too, and we started talking about Tolstoy, dude. It's like you really want freaking Mark Edworthy's head to explode. Wait till he's just waking up and start talking about Tolstoy. You know, so that was cool. I don't think freaking he could have handled that though, to be honest. Now, he also went into bringing up another topic in this stuff. He said octopus DNA evidence. Research using genetic analysis of turquoise octopus have shown that the weights, WAIS, likely collapsed during the last interglacial period.
What was the acronym or abbreviation for?
WAIS.
You did mention it.
Now I haven't got the link up yet, but it says intergalactic or interglacial period, which is
West and Antarctic ice sheet.
yeah. That was from 129,000 to 116,000 years ago, when global temperatures were only about 0.5 to 1.5 Celsius warmer than pre-industrial levels. Now, this collapse would have contributed to global sea levels being 5 to 10 meters higher than today. So, this kind of goes into where Mr. Robot loves to talk about the map. If you take a look at the map, you can see areas where it looks like freaking huge tsunami waves had gone over areas that are underwater today. You know what I mean? Like especially down in the Magellan Strait. That's a big area right there. And then like he always talks about like the Australian shorelines, how you can see that deserty kind of imprint where it looks like it could have been damaged because of flood. You know what I mean? A tsunami or something. I've also pointed it out too, right up there around Greece in the Black Sea. You know what I mean? Where it does look like there was actually some kind of damage there, and it would explain why the Black Sea is actually in the Caspian Sea are actually where they are. You know what I mean? Like how did that much water mass get into that area? That's the majority of that area is landlocked. You know what I mean? Other than the Caspian and the Black Sea, it's a landlock.
Hmm.
You know, so how did these two huge freaking seas get there? It just doesn't make sense.
Man-made global warming.
Well, I mean, you know, it comes down to freaking Atlantis is what it comes down to.
Okay.
See,
Atlantean-made global warming.
Mr. Robot has explained this thoroughly already once before, so
Ah.
understand that's what he's talking about. He is talking about the Atlanteans at war with the Lemurians. Okay. And one of them was using powers that was supposed to control land, and the other one was using powers that were supposed to control the weather. And when they used it, it caused torrential tidal waves, it caused freaking earthquakes, it caused tsunamis, and that's where all these floodings came from, according to Mr. Robot.
Okay.
Now, he says it better than what I do, but he's lazy and he doesn't get out of bed until freaking later on in the day. He should have been here, but he just, I don't know, he's getting old. You know what I'm saying? He's getting old as shit. Like, and I shouldn't have been bad-mouthing him for talking to his...
Isn't he still younger than us?
Yeah, he is.
Yeah. So, yeah, let's say something about us.
Well, I mean, it's just somebody's got to say something. You know what I mean? Because, I mean, Mr. Robot. You know what I mean? It's like if I didn't pick on Mr. Robot, who would I pick on? I'd be, well, you, actually. So, yeah. Well, you pick better than what he does. Like, I really, it's not as fun. Well, yeah, it is. Actually, it's just as fun picking on you. But you pick back better. You know what I mean? Like Mr. Robot, dude, he's just kind of like there. You know what I mean? I just pick on him and stuff because he's from Australia and they're pretty much worthless.
At least I make arguments that are fairly sane.
Right. Exactly. And don't get me wrong, I do have a lot of respect for people who are into paranormal and UFOs and stuff like that. But these are usually people who freaking actually take time to come up with some kind of facts that they can believe in. You know what I mean?
Like move just hops from one theory to another theory to another theory to another theory.
Mm-hmm. And it's like it's kind of like whenever I go on to a lot of these supposed old freaking media things, you know, and people don't understand why I get so pissed off when I hear them talk about their politics. You know what I mean?
We talk about politics all the time.
Right. But it's just, you know, the thing of it is it's like it's getting so out of hand. Like when people start, when people talk about like, they start getting caught up in like this crazy Jewish shit because they're pissed off at Iran, at Israel. I don't know for sure on some of them if they know what they're talking about or if they're doing it on purpose, but like they think that I'm stupid that I've never read the Protocols of the Elders of Zion. You know what I mean? Which is probably like one of the most disgusting freaking pieces of literature that was ever invented, you know? So whenever I'm freaking sitting and I'm listening to them and they're spilling this kind of shit off, I don't know if they've actually read it or not, or if freaking they're just hearing something from somebody else and saying what they thought was cool. You know what I mean? Does that make sense to you?
Oh,
Have you actually ever heard of the
yeah,
elders?
yeah, I'm aware of that. People with limited, very limited information, just using that limited information to base their own theories on.
Well, I mean, it's like if you know what the hell is, and you're sitting there and you're listening to these people just repeatedly spill this garbage out. You know what I mean? Freaking eventually you get sick of it. You know,
Yeah.
and that's I mean it's crazy because freaking I'm not playing that game. You know what I mean? It's like freaking and you see it everywhere too. Like you freaking a lot of these people who are into ufology especially starts talking that shit. They start getting into the crazy shit telling you that Nazis have freaking UFOs in Antarctica and they're mining freaking meteors in freaking outer space and taking humans as slave labor so that they can mine these meteors and shit. I mean, it's
Mm.
there are people who say that shit, you know, and it's like, are you serious, dude? You know.
Mm.
Now, how would you feel if a bunch of Nazis abducted you and took you to a freaking meteor and forced you into hard labor?
I don't know. I've never been in this situation.
How do you think that would be cool?
Possibly.
I mean, because you get to go to another world.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Or another world.
Well, technically, not
Besides,
another world.
well, yeah.
You get to mine freaking minerals on a freaking meteor in the meteorite or the meteor belt or however. What do they call that again? The belt system.
Asteroid.
Asteroid belt.
Yeah.
Mhm. You know. So I mean, for me, that's kind of what I see when it comes to that. Like when you hear that kind of stuff, it's kind of exciting. You know what I mean? Because it really is. It's really really exciting stuff that people love to hear. It kind of makes your blood boil when you hear it because it's so exciting. You know, it does affect you when you hear it. The first time I heard those kind of stories, it just put me into a natural high, dude. Like this is the best freaking sci-fi. It's better than freaking Star Wars, dude.
Mm.
It really is, and it's addictive. And I learned that real quick, so I had to kind of be on guard about that because there's tons of people who fall for that shit. You know.
If I wanted to do that, I could always pick up a computer game. In fact, what have I got on this machine? A game called, or part of Eaglesoft's X series, which is all about, well, you played Elite, haven't you?
I don't know for sure. I think you've asked me that. You said Elite, right?
Yeah.
Yeah, I don't
The
think
space trading mining game, exploration game.
I played Eve Online.
Yeah, well, yeah, I think there's similar concepts in that. Yeah.
Yeah. Now Eve Online is very very controversial. You know what I'm saying? A lot of people like it. A lot of people hate it. It all depends on how bad they screwed you over, basically. Because like, there's a lot of people that went in there and they were idiots and they invested shitloads of money on Eve Online.
What is that space exploration game that has been in development for what? I don't know, half a century now, good 5-6 years, and people have been spending money.
That's Boulder's Gate, isn't that
No,
Boulder Gate?
no, space
Oh,
exploration. Star Citizen.
yes.
Yeah, and yeah, it's just a cash cow thing.
Okay, so since we've talked video games and we kind of got into conspiracies, we need to talk about RFK Jr., the final one. Okay, now,
Okay.
apparently RFK Jr. ordered changes for organ donation networks.
In the US.
Yeah. Now reports found dozens were not dead when harvested. Now this I don't know. You know what I'm saying? Like, come on, dude. Like, I put this all back at Donald Trump. You know what I mean? Like,
So, have these reports been
well,
proven?
that's the thing. Donald Trump doesn't believe in proven. Like,
Okay.
amid reports that organ donors may be at risk for having their body parts harvested while still alive and kicking, the Trump administration has launched a sweeping reformation of the U.S. organ transplant system. The move, announced by Health and Human Service Secretary Robert F. Kennedy Jr., comes on the heels of an investigation by the Department of Health Resources and Service Administration that revealed disturbing practices by a major organ procurement organization. Now, this comes out of the Independent, out of the UK, which is probably not a good source.
Actually, the Independent is one of the more reliable. Well, yeah, I would argue it's one of the more reliable newspaper news agencies.
Well, I don't know. I mean, come on, dude. Seriously.
Based upon previous
I would compare. I don't know. I mean, to be honest with you, I would.
Lost you.
Yeah, I know. I'm back. Sorry. Can you hear me now? You there?
Yeah, I've lost you.
Can you hear me?
Now I can. Yeah.
Okay. Now with
You
the,
were saying- yeah, you were saying you would compare.
I would compare the Independent to Fox News. You know what I'm saying? To be honest with you, because I'm still waiting for those files that were supposed to be released for Hillary Clinton, and them bastards still haven't freaking provided those files about Hillary Clinton that were supposed to put her in jail, and they still haven't come. So,
You've got to remind me.
well, Fox News kept pushing their bullshit with that one Carlson, Carson something, whatever his name is on there.
Okay.
He kept always pushing oh, it's coming. We've got files on Hillary Clinton, and it's just a matter of freaking them sorting it out, and she is going to be prosecuted. And he kept saying this shit for a year and a half, dude. And everybody who watched Fox News just kept eating that shit up. Yeah, they're going to lock her up. They're going to lock Hillary Clinton up. And it never happened, dude. You know what I mean? So that's kind of what I get whenever I see a lot of that stuff coming out of the Independent. You know what I mean? You
I
can't.
don't know. Western news full of sensationalism, and people love that stuff. Well, the average pub.
That's kind of That's kind of what I see with the Independent too. They're real. I mean,
I don't know. Well, compared to various other news agencies, you could argue that they are much more robust in the reporting.
Kind of like the National Enquirer is.
Again, I've not read anything. Oh, mind you, I've not read anything from the Independent in many years. So, actually, I have through the website a few times, but not picked up a newspaper in many years. But again, I've not read anything from the National Enquirer in.
Well, they've expanded. They've expanded. Like you've seen these freaking like tabloid shows on TV. They're 15 half an hour long, right? Where they talk about Jay-Z or some shit or some kind of scandal.
Again, I ignore that sort of stuff. Yeah.
But that's basically what it is. I can't even tell you the names. That's how bad I mean,
the only thing I can think of at the moment is the US, The View.
Who, me?
Yeah, The View.
Oh, The View. No.
Yeah.
Oh God, don't even mention The View like that. That should never even be. It should never even be publicly mentioned.
And I'm only really aware of that because of who's the independent alternative news commentator. I can't think of his name. Dave Rubin.
Dave Rubin.
Yeah, because he's very critical. He sort of mocks The View all the time, doesn't he?
Well, it's good that he does that. That shows character. It's character building, and for anybody who mocks The View, you are my heroes. Seriously. Like, there is no better thing in this world than people who mock The View. That is probably... That's the one thing that should be dead and buried. It should have been dead and buried a long time ago. Okay, the fact that I'm even talking about it right now brings shame upon me. Okay, so I'm just disgusted with it. I'm almost. I mean, like this whole thing about freaking RFK too. Just understand that Alex Jones is the one who he said predicted this stuff. So it's like you got to take that kind of with a grain of salt. He's another guy I'm talking about. You know what I mean? Like freaking.
Pardon enough, Mr. Roberts, he's a fan of him as well.
Yeah, big time. You know.
Yeah.
Freaking. I mean, at one time, I was cool with Alex Jones back whenever he was into like Prison Planet and things of that nature. I did like that stuff, but to be honest with you, when he started doing that crazy shit about freaking Sandy Hook, that's when I started having my red flags about him. Okay. And I don't care if you freaking believe in freaking conspiracies or not. You know, when you cross the line, you cross the line. You know what I mean?
I've never been a fan of Jones.
But the thing that really tipped me off about him was when Donald Trump ran for president the first time. Like he became this freaking Donald Trump trope from the get-go, dude. It was all about Donald Trump. Like Donald Trump was his freaking hero, and he could do no wrong. He went from conspiracy to freaking Donald Trump. Everything was about politics. You know what I mean? And I'm like, dude, you are such a freaking sellout. You know what I mean? A fucking sellout from hell, dude. I cannot respect anybody who freaking is supposed to be, you know, about conspiracy, like, and then just turn around and freaking become a fucking trope of a political party like that. And everybody says, oh, yeah, conspiracy has to do with politics. Well, there's a difference between political conspiracies and political propaganda. You know what I mean? When you're trying to push a narrative and propaganda for a political party, dude, then you're a trope. And you know what I mean? It's like, and people all the time back when he started doing that shit kept saying it in his comments, man. You need to stop doing that shit. Get back to your roots and do what you need to be doing. But he wouldn't listen to him. He kept pushing the shit. And he kept trying to get popular. Like he kept having these rivalries during the presidential election with that Sink off of the Young Turks.
Okay.
You remember that shit? He would go in and disrupt the show for freaking publicity and shit.
Again, I've never been a big fan of either.
Neither have I. Well, I knew Sink was a freaking shill. I knew he was.
Shank, you mean?
Sink. I call him Sink.
Sink. Yes.
I call him Sink. He's the Sink man. Sink.
I nominated him as the most odious person of the last decade.
I love it when you talk crap on Sink. I love it. Get him, Mark Edworthy. Get him. Mark Edworthy is about to crown you with a fork.
Yeah, again, I got more interest in actual politics rather than the sort of bread and circus.
Yeah, I know. And that's kind of what I was talking about at the beginning, you know what I mean? And it's getting to the point now where freaking I'm seriously saying that fuck this voting shit. It's a waste of time. You know, it really is. Because freaking nobody takes politics serious anymore. You know what I mean? Everything around us is freaking basically falling to shit. We're on the verge of freaking maybe another freaking huge freaking war. And these idiots want to fucking play games, you know what I'm saying? And that's all it is. There's nothing serious freaking being done. You know? So I'm
potential civil war in Europe, or potential civil actions in Europe.
well, hell,
UK, potentially.
Yeah, I was getting ready to say you guys too, and here. To be honest, it's happening here too.
I don't know. I don't know if it happened in the US, it would have happened by now, surely.
Well, it all depends on how. It all depends on how much Donald Trump has to backstep since he stuck his foot in his mouth. Like ever since he freaking stuck his foot in his mouth with his constituents, that's when he's really had to freaking start doing a freaking what do they call that? Where public he had to make himself look good. You know what I'm saying? Because like nobody really wants to admit it, but like when he turned around and he got on national television and told people who believed that Epstein thing was real, that they're idiots. He didn't realize that he was saying that on national television to like 3/4 of the people who voted for him.
Yeah, but we are seeing a much more greater issue especially in the UK. Remember that the Labour government is only about a year old now, and we've got major issues with immigration. We've got major issues with, let's say, alleged sexual misconduct. Due to immigration, we've got major issues. I only found out that in the last couple of days, like, we have actually now formally agreed to the World Health Organization's pandemic treaty.
Yeah.
That went under the lens, or that was ignored by the majority of the population.
You know, just a year ago, you kept gloating how great the English were compared to the United States, and now you're like folding into the freaking
I
World Health
I've never
Organization.
actually I've never
Yes, you have.
seriously gloated.
Yes, yes, you have. You freaking
I
fibber. You're
I
fibber.
I made
Fibbing. You know what
okay,
American
okay.
term. You're a fibber. You know you have. So
I've made off the cuff sort of humorous comments.
well, you know, I mean, that's the thing. It's that's what I like about hanging out with you and Mr. Robot. Like I've been talking trash about Mr. Robot all day too, but like we just that's what we do. We just hang out and BS and freaking have fun, you know. But
Mm.
like with that World Health Organization thing there, that's a serious issue, and people are freaking being they're being bombarded with this stupidity shit. You know what I mean? It's like there's some more serious crap going on. They're going to take away freaking everybody's rights and make it to where you have to freaking abide by laws that weren't even created in your country. You know what I mean?
Mind you, we've been doing that for some time anyway,
Mm-hmm.
thanks to things like the European Union and the European Court of Human Rights.
You know, it's and in the meantime, we can sit and we can freaking listen to all these cool freaking people that are getting on the internet and just spilling out fucking garbage that's not true, preaching about how freaking shit's gonna get taken care of. You know what I mean? And it's not. It's just more stupid shit that's being preached. Back in the 2015, I remember there was shitloads of these supposed news outreach outlets that were supposed to be independent, and they were politically motivated, and they would get on there and they would just spill fucking bullshit lies out of their mouth that they knew wasn't true, and
But I wouldn't call them those sort of people news outlets.
they
Remember, there's a difference between journalism and commentary.
we know that, but they were actually saying it and claiming that they were news outlets. Okay,
Well,
and
yeah, I can claim that I'm the king of England. Doesn't mean I am.
people listen to him. Is my whole point, dude. They listened to him and they freaking believed it, and they just every time they came on the internet, they would spill this bullshit out. You know, saying this is what took place and that's what took place, and you know why? Because we're the first ones to bring it to you guys. Freaking they're lying to you and you need to take back blah blah blah, and freaking they're just spilling fucking lies out to you, and these people just listened to it and they loved it. And now 10, 15 years later, they don't understand why freaking people are sick of hearing that shit, and they're getting banned off of platforms, and they're freaking not able to freaking hang out anywhere but Telegram, because Telegram's the only one that'll freaking let them in, you know. Well, there's a reason for that shit, you know what I mean? Stop fucking spreading lies and telling people freaking that this is the truth when it's not the truth. Um, I've been,
That isn't even Telegram's major audience, isn't it?
yeah,
Telegram is a sort of platform which is orientated to teenagers and 20-somethings.
it used to be. Telegram was where girls went to show their boobs, dude.
Yeah, yeah.
You know, freaking give selfies and shit like that. Now everybody's moving there because they freaking like the privacy that goes on there. Like you go in there, freaking you verify yourself, and apparently,
Actually, yeah, I have major issues with Telegram. As I pointed out on previous occasions, I've got the data protection. have got. I've seen a lot of reports in relation to failures in relation to the European general data GDPR, general data protection regulations. Um,
Well, I mean, it's like whenever they ended Skype, and we had everybody having to figure out where they wanted to go. Um, Majority of the people freaking that we know, they just basically had to take freaking Teams. Some of them ended up finally caving in and went over to Discord, but there were a few of them that freaking just said they were going to go to freaking go to Telegram, and I was like, yeah, whatever, dude, have fun with that. I'm not gonna go in there and then freaking have, first of all, to verify my information with a telephone, and secondly, I get all these spammers on Rumble and Kick and all these other platforms as it is, and they have their direct emails going straight to Telegram. They're like, hey man, I can help your performance, give you the opportunity of getting 2,000 views. Here's my freaking email. And they're just straight freaking scammers, dude.
if you remember the old Minds chat platform, all of these spammers that was deleting from what I was doing a lot of moderation were either using Telegram addresses or WhatsApp addresses
Yeah.
or numbers. Yeah.
Exactly. And WhatsApp, that's the most pathetic thing. They're still out and running. People still use it. That's worse than Telegram, dude.
Oh yeah, it's owned by Meta Platforms.
Yep. It's crazy. It's crazy. And they allow that shit. You know what I mean? It's like everybody's falling for this bullshit, like Minds and not Minds, but Facebook and YouTube, and then they're all just interested in your freaking safety. But then they freaking set up a freaking chat system that's completely freaking it's dangerous. Basically, if you have WhatsApp on your computer, you're freaking at risk. I mean, that's all.
Technically, you don't have WhatsApp. It's a software as a service. It's not as a platform as a service. So technically, you don't have it on your machine.
Go into your task
I-
Go
yeah.
into your task manager. You'll find WhatsApp in there if you got Facebook.
yeah, it's still a client application. It's just a client. It's what was a year back some time ago that's stated that you've deleted, I don't know, some social media platform from your machine, and
It was
the one and stated you've deleted a platform. What do you know? The chief executive officer of said platform.
No, what it was is I uninstalled Elements from my programs because even though it's just a browser app that I can download to my computer and go to Elements, it's still technically a download.
Right, yeah, it's a client
Cloud.
application. It's
Right.
but you haven't actually deleted the platform.
It's deleted when I say it's deleted, man.
It's still out there.
It's still out there, but I feel good when I say mean things like that about platforms. You know what I'm saying? It's like on Untethered when you said that I put the wrong thumbnail on those episodes. Okay,
Yeah,
you know what I mean? I enjoyed the fact that I put freaking the internet is a scam thumbnail on all of those because freaking I want people to understand that, dude, that when you come into the internet and you play these games, which that's what they are, these are all games, that you're putting yourself at risk. Okay, this is not freaking a playground where you come in and you just click buttons, which that's what a lot of people on the internet do. They're just button clickers. Okay, Every time you freaking do a download, every time you freaking go to a website and you allow them to freaking use cookies, you're opening yourself up to a freaking chance of getting harmed. You know what I'm saying? So, well, your computer being harmed, I should say, and just be aware of that. Even like me and you were talking about the URL. You know what I'm saying? Look at the URL. Look at what it's called, dude. You know what I'm saying?
They address the universal resource locator.
Right. You know what I mean? It's a locator.
Yeah. No, but it's no more than a postal address, isn't it?
Right.
It
But
directs you to a place.
yeah, exactly. Exactly. Your place, your site, your computer. When you host a
No,
website,
URL would direct you to google.com or
to your
Apple.
entity, to your entity, you know.
It doesn't, generally speaking, a home machine doesn't have a universal resource locator.
No, not now. If you go into your router, you'll find out differently.
Yeah, no, that's still that's a IP address, which for most domestic users it would be would change after a certain amount of time.
And your internet provider wouldn't know anything about that, right?
No, it's controlled by the internet service provider.
Yeah. See, it's all a locator, man. It's all a locator to figure out what you're doing when you're doing it. One day you get
No.
freaking a letter from Mr. Bean or Bean saying, cease and desist. This is my content, and if you do not do what I say, then I will take you to court and sue you for everything you have. And then the internet freaking company that's providing the internet to you also sends a letter along with it saying, look, buddy, you keep freaking using his videos on the internet, we're going to shut you down and you can never have service with us again.
That may be true in the US, but that wouldn't work under majority of European country legislation.
To go talk to Mr. Beam about that. Mr. Bean, I'm sorry. You know, this guy is supposed to be
Rowan Atkinson.
Yeah, this guy.
There's a fictional character.
Well, this guy is supposed to be Mr. Internet Freedom. You know what I mean? And he said,
yeah, he's a bit of a free speech advocate.
Yeah, he's full of shit, is what he is.
Yeah, but he has to also look after his own intellectual property.
Oh, okay. I still say he's a piece of shit.
I mean, you were talking earlier about somebody thinking that pushing communism and not owning anything.
Oh, yeah. Well, yeah, you're right. I'm at the back step. Do a Donald Trump. I just put my foot in my mouth.
I mean, surely this content that we create, we are the owners. Well, it depends on which platforms we publish to.
Right. Well, I mean, like the content itself, this is our content, you know what I'm saying? And that's the reason why I don't like using other people's content, you know what I mean? And when I say other people, I'm not talking about like me, you, Mr. Robot, or John, or any. I'm talking about like strangers, you know what I mean? Like, I don't like the idea of strangers freaking going out and using their music because they say that I'm allowed to, you know. I just don't like doing that. First of all, you know, it took years for me to finally figure out, man, if I'm gonna do this shit, I need to do it from scratch and learn how to create my own shit. I shouldn't be freaking going on the internet and using other people's stuff. It's and
Even though we have done that, even in this stream today,
right,
try.
right. Well, that's only because I'm being seduced by the forces that be. You know what I mean? I freaking started doing this shit with you guys, and all of a sudden, Tan's like, "Hey, man, we got to do this article clip." So all of a sudden, we're doing videos. Mr. Robot comes along. He's like, "Man, we got to do this background image, man." And he wants to show all this background images and stuff like that. And I'm like, dude, So I'm sitting there and I'm looking at it, and I'm like, man, this is so much copyright infringement shit. You know what I mean? That's the only thing I'm thinking. You know what I mean? The whole time that they're doing this shit is I'm going to get in trouble with the copyright infringement.
Again, you'd have to be more specific. But
everything, look at it. Like that. Like, remember those sunglasses when we did the first season of Tech Talk where Dan wanted to show off those cool sunglasses they were supposed to come out with that was supposed to show you what the shops were, and it was supposed to give you all the techno. Remember that?
not specifically, but you're talking about sort of a modern version of the Google Glass sort of project. Yeah.
Yeah. Well, we put that video on there, and freaking they hit me on YouTube because I used it. It was from those sunglasses that are really popular.
Ray-Ban.
Ray-Ban, yeah. That was it.
Which is no, it's not acquired by Meta Platforms, but Meta Platform Zuckerberg has been doing several projects with.
We ended up getting hit with a copyright infringement because we used a freaking video on there from Ray-Ban just for demonstration and shit, and then bam, they hit us with copyright.
Could you argue under fair use on that one? Did you argue under fair use on that one?
No, I didn't.
Uh,
I usually don't, because I don't believe in fair use and Creative Commons anymore. That's a load of shit.
Well, fair use under both the US Digital Millennium Act and also the 1976 Copyright Act.
Still a load of shit. I'm an angry, pissed off American dude. I roll like the hard boys, dude. I'm gonna start singing a Bon Jovi song if I'm not careful, because I'm gonna start telling you I'm a cowboy.
Careful, copyright.
Oh, that's right. See, I can't even sing it on here because they'll flag me. They'll say you.
No, that probably would be okay, but.
So we are up to 3.5 hours. I figured this would be a good time to go ahead and end it so we can get on with our night. What do you think?
Yeah.
We've covered all the topics that you and Mr. Robot did for the week on elements. And if you guys want to come in here and freaking contribute to talking points and stuff like that, come over to Elements and check
elements.io.
Right, elements.io, live with Roger Hanson. You can check us out there, put in your posts that you want, and I'll go through them, and we'll put it on live with Roger Hanson so that we can have
or even just leave a comment on your one of these.
One of these streams.
Yeah.
Because we are streaming on Rumble, YouTube, Twitch, Kick, and DLive. Now, if you want to put a topic up and that you want us to talk about, just put it up in the comment section. Now, we usually allow people to come onto the stream and everything. Here lately, we haven't had anybody, and like I said, we were going to do an interview this morning first with Sonia, and she had to cancel because she said things were getting hectic and around her house, so we have had to reschedule it for a later time. So we will have her on eventually, hopefully, to where we can do a good interview. And I apologize for that, but I mean, there's there's very little that you can do, basically. You know what I mean? And it's worth waiting for too, because talking about tattoos is actually a pretty good. It's an interesting story, to be honest with you. I think whenever she does come on, Mark, you're gonna love it.
I think we have discussed the subject before in short sort of things.
But not like in a interview kind of
Mainly
setting.
on Jaffe's show.
Yeah.
Uh,
There are so many cool things when it comes to tattoos, man. Like that people don't get to hear every day. You know what I mean? So whenever she does come on, because I've got some experience around tattoo artists. As a matter of fact, I left home with a tattoo artist. Like we jumped in a car and freaking left Southern Illinois for Kansas City. There's actually another town that was in Kansas. I forgot the name of it, but we didn't make it there. We ended up staying in Kansas City, and that's how I ended up leaving Illinois and eventually going to Kansas City. Jumped aboard a frickin' tattoo artist's station wagon, and we hit the road, dude. So that, just to let you know, that's how much I've been around tattoo artists. So it's gonna be good. Trust me, we're gonna have a good conversation. You know what I mean? And I usually don't tell my personal stories, but that's a cool one, so you get to hear that one.
And I actually haven't spoken to her in a while, actually.
She
catch up.
She talked to me this morning. She left me a message, said that she's going to have to reschedule. So,
Just a couple hours ago.
Mm-hmm. So before we go, why don't you give everybody your socials, Mr.
Okay. Like I said, I'm mainly on minds.com, so under the username Medworthy.
Okay. You can find me at minds.com as well at Roger_Hanson. I'm also on DLive and on, I believe, Kick as Roger_Hanson. Now on Twitch, you can find me at Infamous1969, and on YouTube, I am Roger Hanson at Roger Hanson 2731. And with Rumble, I'm Roger Hanson at Infamous OG 1973. If you guys like this video, please like, subscribe, share, make comments down in the comment section as well as in the chat if you want. But the comment section, that's the important part. That's where we want to hear from you. That way we can have a conversation with you.
And like we had said earlier, give us some suggestions on talking points.
Right, exactly. How do you feel about this stuff that we've been discussing? Exactly. They call that a call to action, just so you guys know, okay? A call to action is something that is suggested that everybody who is a content creator should do. And that's what we're doing. It's a call to action. Say something. That's it. So with that being said, I am going to end the stream. I hope you guys enjoyed. I hope you have a good day. And we will talk to you later.